Welcome to the Singapore Grand Prix. We'll be running a one-stopper. We had a decent practice, and once again we have a 1-2 qualifying. So we'll be trying to do one-stop here. We'll not be running aggressive from the get-go. We will be running push and deploy though, and we're going to have to try and make these tires last to the end. We could go aggressive as you can see here, but we'll most likely just run standard and stretch the softs as long as we can before we end on the mediums. But I am hoping that...
this is it! The Singapore Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
I clicked a bit too early, but looks like we're good. What I meant to say is that I'm hoping that we'll still be able to create the gap here, even with just running normal, running, you know, burning the fuel. So it looks like we should be okay. We'll go back to neutral. We'll go balance because I'm a little bit unsure how fuel works around here. Can't really remember. So we're going to run it like this. We already have the gap. Shouldn't be a big problem.
DRS is enabled.
And in general here, this should work out just fine for us. The other teams are all running softs except for Albon, well as the Aston Martins and Sonoda. So we'll have to see how this goes. Again, we do have high wear because our drivers are very bad with smoothness, but they make up for it with pace, honestly, so I wouldn't be too concerned.
You're doing very good. Lifetime are good.
As you can see here, we are having some fuel issues, so we might have to go conserve already.
We want to leave core, please.
Just so we can make sure that we have plenty of fuel towards the end.
Take a
Red
look
flag.
at the replay. So this was the Aston Martin.
Oh. Okay.
A definite collision there. That's
This-
very
Oh.
unfortunate.
Okay. Looks like even more people are coming onto the...
That's going to be a big blow to the team.
That's virtually a blind corner, so I do understand why. Red flag. 3 cars out. That's also very understandable. So what we're actually going to do here is just slap on a new pair of softs for both drivers. And stick to the old strategy. We can push a bit harder now, since we've already...
And it's more than one car.
since we
Here's the
already used a
replay.
bit.
Let's take another look. There we have Joe. Oh no!
Oof.
And there's the crash. Mark my words, there'll be questions asked about that later.
That was a bit of a punterino.
The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
Well, he lost his rear, hit the wall, spun a bit, and slapped into the rest here. But yeah, 3 cars out, red flag.
The restart is moments away.
It was
as
a sensible
the
thing
race
to do.
continues. And it's lights out, and away we go.
I don't get why this game is so loud on...
Pushing on.
so loud on, you know, the starts of all things, but I think we should be okay here. Russell is a bit close, so it could potentially cause us problems. Let's go ahead and push fuel here to establish the gap, and we'll conserve afterwards. We already have the gap. Let's go back to balance for now. And as you can see, we will be running the cars in aggressive, because we should be able to stretch them, these softs over halfway through the race. We'll go ahead and harvest a bit too, since we don't have a lot of DRS to work with. And even then, we should still be perfectly okay. The other teams have all gone on to the mediums though, except for Tsunoda and Hards. So we'll have to see if the rest are planning to do maybe a no more stops. They're planning to go to the end maybe. We'll have to see. So again, we will be doing a bit of pushing here, but we will also start conserving fuel. Again, Duhan has more fuel because he's driving behind Piastri, and now that they're inverted, I expect the fuel values to invert as well. But yeah, interesting situation though with red flag. We have 7.5 seconds on Leclerc, and if we can keep on gaining like this, we should be okay. We aren't actually gaining a lot though. It's like 1 to 2 tenths most laps. We had 4 or 5 tenths there, so that's good. 4 tenths on this one. 4 tenths each lap should be more than doable, so we can be happy with that. Now, again, these tires don't really need to last super long. We can probably go attack at this stage, because what we will be aiming for is to go onto the mediums. And even if you switch now, as you can see, they would last to the end. So we can go full attack here, do it like this, and we'll put Piastri on this, and we'll use him as a warning for when we want to pit. So with that in mind, let's put both our drivers on attack. We'll go back up to balance for a little while on the fuel. Both of them seem to be doing well. And we'll be doing a little bit more to establish that the gap for the pit stop to be perfectly safe for us.
That was a stonking lap.
We have a bit for Piastri here. Gonna allow Duhan to overtake on most likely a better fuel strategy. Looks like he is suffering a bit. We are overheating the tires though, which could be a concern, but I think we'll be fine. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Now, if we were to pit now, we'd probably come out around 6th position. So we're going to run this for a few more laps there. Just run these off a little more into the ground. Should still be having, yeah, decent lap times compared to our pursuers. So no reason to switch just yet when they're doing a lap quicker times than the rest of the field. We're going to push a couple more laps here, just to be safe. Where to say pit Duhan now for the mediums. It's estimated he'll come out in 5th. So the pit stop here will take a little bit longer time than what we are used to maybe. So we can push these tires for at least a couple more laps, I think. Should be okay. We're over halfway through the race. And we have been, not the same compound of course, but we've been running sauce for so long. Multiple cars have crashed. Is that a safety car? It is, but as you can see, we did not get collected by the safety car, so we're gonna double stack onto the mediums here. We would have pitted anyways. So let's get those pit stops out of the way. And Sainz is out after a collision with Gasly.
Contact and several cars involved. Let's see what happened there. Let's have another look. Science is the focus here.
Oh, Gasly ran into his back. Luckily his engine survived.
There's the hit, and it's crystal clear
Which
who
is
was at the
more
rock
you can
there.
say from when he went to Austria this year. Okay, that's a pit stop. I thought someone was running outside the track. I was very concerned. Piastri 2.3, Duhan 2.5. That's fairly those are fairly decent pit stops, and we're just gonna go aggressive here. And we're just gonna save a little bit of tire towards the end. It should still be enough to gain a gap with.
DRS is currently disabled. DRS is currently disabled.
I would hope so. There's a safety car here.
Safety car in this lap.
So we technically didn't even have a full lap under the safety car. So again, I'm gonna stick with aggressive here. We're gonna push, we're gonna deploy, and we'll do the same for Duhan. So hopefully, yeah, they can get that gap down to Verstappen. Looks like we have already performed it. Crash on track. Is that Gasly again, or is that, you know, just a late message that didn't get properly conveyed? Who knows? But we're gonna go back to balance. We're just gonna allow the fuel to, you know, we'll run a little bit extra fuel. It's no biggie. If we can retain first and second, we
Stay firm on DRS.
we'll be happy. We don't need to super push. Looking good so far. 46 out of 61 laps. We have established a 13-second gap. Plenty of fuel, plenty of tire, decent amount of ERS. We might as well just charge them in case we get another red flag, for instance. But I think we'll be good here. There we go. ERSs have been fully charged. Our drivers have plenty to work with when it comes to making sure that we have the fastest lap. At the end of this season, we'll have a look and see what tracks we have been able to set the overall fastest lap at. Oh, no damage though for Piastri, so no biggie. He'll just be a little bit behind Duhan. Again, just very few laps left, so we'll not be doing anything to try and force him to catch up. We saw him running a bit wider in the corner. Not really anything we need to have an extra view on. We have another safety car, so with our gap here, what we can actually do is pit for softs again. We actually have another scrub soft that we can use, and we'll pit both cars. And we'll have them do a mad dash for the end here and see just how well they do. So let's see what happened to Norris.
Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris.
Locked up and introduced himself to the wall with a lot of debris. That makes sense. I assume he's out. Yes, fifth car out this race. Both our drivers are pitted, 2.4, 3.2. A little bit slow. But we had a margin that doesn't really, you know. Did Schumacher crash under safety car?
Watch this. There's Schumacher.
Yes, there is Schumacher. Some of these camera angles need a little bit of work, as I've said, but otherwise it should be okay. We'll do at least one more lap in a safety car, and then we'll have probably 2-3 racing laps.
Safety car will be in this lap. Confirm.
Okay, safety car in this lap. And again here, we're going to allow Duhan and Piastri to just push it out here for these last couple of laps. We'll give them ERS on the final lap so that they can push for, you know, really fight it out. Piastri is falling a little bit behind, so this is going to be interesting. There we are. We'll allow them to deploy, both of them. And we'll see who gets the job done.
The final lap.
ERS enabled.
Duhan pulled it off.
That's the flag.
Good race. Verstappen third, Russell fourth. And in general, a good result for a lot of us. Alpine and AlphaTauri scores points, except for, well, Bottas too, because Sainz crashed out. So, a good weekend, all things considered. Drivers' Championship, Duhan is now, again, securing himself a little bit better. We now have 5 races to go, and unless he DNFs, I don't think Piastri will be able to overtake him. So, we'll see how that goes. In terms of constructors, we almost have more points than the next 3 combined. We'll see if we can, you know, maybe achieve that. I think we will. But that will require some more DNFs from them, I think. Because they are currently gaining more points than us. And no changes otherwise, so yeah, thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and I do hope to see you next time. Bye bye!